Now, as time goes on, I've been buying more and more of the weekly paying high income ETFs, adding more shares to my portfolio, which means more money in my pocket on a weekly basis, which definitely comes in handy if you're someone like myself that likes to constantly deploy more fresh capital into the market and stack and compound more and more shares consistently. Now, of course, an ETF that has a weekly payout frequency doesn't mean it's better than a monthly or quarterly payouts. But like I said, at least for a small portion of my portfolio, it's been pretty fun adding some weekly payers in the mix to get paid more consistently, having more capital to then deploy. So in this video, what I want to do is talk about 3 of the most popular weekly payers as of right now: MAGY, WPAY, and BLOX. 3 ETFs that I'm sure a lot of you guys have looked into already or maybe even hold on to. I'm going to share with you what each of these ETFs are, what they have to offer, their performance, and then later towards the end of the video, stack them all up head to head and see which is the best weekly payer, at least as of right now. So if this sort of thing interests you at all, make sure to stick around, drop a like down below, and let's get right into it. My A to Z dividend investing ebook has already helped countless dividend investors get started with their journey. And my custom dividend tracker, the one I use all the time on my videos, has also helped so many investors stay organized and has actually helped them see their dividend income grow. Well, today I have something even better for you guys. When you click the first link down below in my description and you grab my A to Z dividend investing ebook, today you're not only going to get the ebook, but you're also going to be getting the custom dividend tracker, which you can use to track your own dividend income ongoingly. Get direct access to my personal email where you guys can email me any questions regarding dividend investing. You're also going to receive a link to view all of my holdings inside my 7-figure dividend portfolio and see all the positions I add and take away ongoingly. And you're going to get for absolutely free my brand new high yield dividend investing ebook, where I show you the power of maximizing some of these high yielding ETFs and teach you everything there is to know about that also. This is going to be your one shot to grab everything inside of one single bundle, but you got to move quick because I'm not going to offer this for long. Now with all that, let's get back into the video. The first weekly pair that we're going to talk about is one of my favorites, Maggie, or the Roundhill Mag 7 covered call ETF, which as of right now is up around 7.34% just as far as price return goes on the all-time chart. Now Maggie, the Mag 7 covered call ETF, is brought to us by Roundhill, and this ETF targets weekly income from the top 7 tech stocks with Roundhill's Mag 7 covered call ETF, Maggie, a covered call strategy with focused exposure to the Mag 7 stocks, tech leaders shaping the future. Now, this ETF offers exposure to the Mag 7, which might or might not be something you personally want exposure to. For me, I do want to have a little bit more exposure to the Mag 7 in my portfolio, just because I don't already have that much of it. This ETF currently has a distribution rate of around 33%, 34% almost, which is pretty massive. It offers weekly distributions, it offers precise exposure to the Mag 7, subject to a weekly cap, and it's actively managed. Now, as far as the distribution history for Maggie, at least up until this point, the distributions have been pretty steadily around 36, 37, 38 cents every single week. I think I started buying Maggie a few months back, and honestly, even with a small amount of shares in my portfolio, getting paid 38 cents, 37 cents more or less every single week for every single share I own. Plus, this ETF has went up in price. This ETF so far has been amazing. Now, keep in mind, like any ETF, it's only going to be as good as its strategy and the underlying. So if the Mag 7 do take a massive hit, which maybe they will sometime in the future, this ETF also will likely be dropped down along with it. The next weekly pair that we're going to talk about is WPAY, another very popular one, also up around 7.5% as far as price return goes. Now, WPAY, also brought to us by Roundhill, offers exposure to all single stock weekly pay ETFs from Roundhill, some of the names being things like the Roundhill AMD weekly pay ETF, the Hood one, the Apple one, the Amazon one, the Coin one, etc., etc. Now, the cool thing about this ETF is that if you do want exposure to some of these high income, at least potentially high income strategies, but you don't necessarily want to just pick one or two, this ETF gives you access to basically all of them with a single click. Now, the ETF also offers weekly distributions like we talked about. It offers diversification, which I personally do like, especially when you're talking about higher beta names. Diversification, in my opinion, is definitely key. Now, this ETF has a 61% distribution rate, which is down a tad from the previous week. The previous week's distribution rate was like 70%, I think. The distribution so far, 62 cents, 73, 85, 73, 88, 51, 54. So it looks like on average, probably somewhere around 65 to 75 cents per share per week, which is absolutely massive, especially considering this ETF has not decayed in price since inception. Now, the main risk with WPAY, of course, is going to be once again the strategy and the underlying. Some of these underlying names do have the potential to go up very quickly, but also drop very quickly. So definitely keep that in mind. Now, the final weekly pair that is also very popular. I mean, this ETF has been on a run so far. We're talking about the Nicholas Crypto Income ETF, or BLOX. This ETF is up around 38, almost 39% as far as price performance goes. On top of that, this ETF offers like a 36% yield. Now, the fund summary for BLOX, it says BLOX is an actively managed exchange-traded fund that provides exposure to the blockchain technology to enhance income and provide portfolio diversification. The fund blends digital assets related to investments and traditional income generating securities to capture growth potential in emerging technologies while also maintaining focus on risk-adjusted returns. Now, the fund objective is Bitcoin, Ether, plus crypto industry companies, plus weekly income equals BLOX. So when it comes to BLOX, you better want some exposure to some crypto-related-ish names like IREM, names like Riot 8, Hut 8, Robinhood, etc. Now, I started buying some BLOX a while back because even though I personally don't necessarily know what's going to happen with crypto, with Bitcoin, with Ether, some of these names definitely are shaping the future in my opinion. So having at least a small amount of exposure to it, I don't think will hurt. Now, as far as the distributions go, these are also weekly, very consistent as of recent, 17, almost 18 cents, 18, almost 17, 16.5 cents, 16.3, 15, etc., etc. Now that we talked about these three very popular weekly payers, I'm sure, like I said, a lot of you guys either have looked into them, maybe you already have some of them in your portfolio. Either way, I want to compare them all head to head on the max time frame, which we don't really have all that far to go back on. But since September 4th of this year, if you compare MAGY, BLOX, and WPAY and look at total return as the metric, BLOX has outperformed both MAGY and WPAY. But to be fair, the annualized return for all these based upon their most recent performance over this time frame is very, very impressive. But more importantly, before I go into the question for you guys down below, when it comes to MAGY, when it comes to BLOX or WPAY, if I were to ask you to only hold on to one of these weekly payers forever, which one would you choose and why? Let us know in the comments down below. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to please drop a like on it, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks as always for stopping by, and if you are interested in investing, make sure to check out these recent videos I posted right here.